affairs more than 20 years ago, and we know his character. And I don't know how my brother have to get Lawani Apoti. You are a mistake man. So, but what I will do, I will hand my speech to my president. It's my president will finish other matters. Thank you. Thank
you. Your Excellency, you are welcome to Nasarawa State. And distinguished gentlemen and people who are gathered here to have listened to you. As a fact, we are being moved by what you are telling us here, because the political actors of Nigeria of yesterday were in their late 20s and early 30s, and they moved Nigeria forward. And looking at your age today, we know you are going to do greater things for this country. We are not talking about religion now or tribe. Every Nigerian is interested in that person that will move Nigeria to the 21st century. And I believe that everybody that came into this auditorium will have 20 or 30 people to convince outside. And besides, as we are moving around the north, the Igbos are everywhere. We are Nigerians, and Nigerians are everywhere. The Nigerians will come behind you, especially the youth. We need a generational change, and that change will start today in Nasarawa State. You are welcome.
Whatever political movement, there are no women, they have not started. So the chairman of the Market Women Association is here.
The fathers of our land, the people that makes us pray, the imams and they make us pray. They encourage us to pray, and they prayed for this occasion. And let me tell you that on behalf of Market Women of Nigeria, as I stand here, what I speak here, I speak for Market Women of Nigeria, because I'm a board of trustee of Market Women of Nigeria that is led by Fola Shade Tinubu Ojo. But names don't make us fear anymore. We don't fear names anymore. We do not fear sirens anymore. Because when we hear sirens, we know that there are big thieves that are passing. Before, we thought they were good people to marry our daughters. But today we know that our daughters will only marry big thieves when they come with sirens to your house. But in your moment today, what I heard you speak is like we are going to have a reverse from your regime. If this will actually be from the bottom of your heart what you are saying, we will work tirelessly to see that we make it. We don't care, because they don't also care about us. We rally around them. During election, after election, what are you giving? I am not an advisor, not a commissioner, nothing. I do not belong to any of the board. So what am I doing? Glory be to God, in Lagos we have marketing board, which is allocated to us. And we do everything there possible to see that market women do elections in Lagos. There's no way in Nigeria where market women do elections. We only follow people everywhere in Nigeria. But in Lagos, we make elections and they are actualized. Your Excellency, I hope your team is full of energetic women, young women and men. It's like the youth, the man youth, or the woman youth knows much of our pains than our elderly ones. We have suffered so much in the hands of our elders. We belong. We are also elders, but we suffer in their hands. So we want to see, like Mr. Nawani Aboki said, we want to see a team, a changed youth that will take care of us. We want to see a changed youth that will take care of the elders. We have been like that. The small you have is the small you have to share with your children, the youth. Why are we existing for? But I think there's need to exist now if we have people like you around Nigeria. Our Excellency, I do not want to empty everything, but I would want to know, what are your plans for this herdsmen and farmers problem around Nigeria? There is never a problem without a solution. You have to tell us what you have provided as your solution. There are animals elsewhere in England. There are animals elsewhere, wherever in the world. So many countries you have mentioned here that we've been to. There are animals there. They rear them, isn't there? Why are they not fighting? Only in Nigeria, you can help us put a stop to that. Give us an answer. And what is your plan for market traders all over Nigeria? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Student Union General. Yes, sir.
Our elders are here and have spent a number of time here. We wouldn't want to keep them much longer, sir. I am so much delighted having you in our midst today. And of course, bitter truth must be said. And we understand very well that our country, Nigeria, will like celebrating fake things. And we like giving credit to things that does not work them. By the special grace of God, my name is Comrade Niman Solomon Maitoro, the Student Union President, Nasarawa State University, Kefi, and also the Chairman of SUG President Forum, Nasarawa State Chapter. In Nasarawa State alone, you said one thing that is so pathetic. You said our institution have become a pipeline to poverty. Student, how do you feel that one? I feel I'm bad when you talk out. Our institution have become a pipeline to poverty. And it has even become a time that society no longer celebrate graduate. You know, check out. If you are becoming a graduate today, you are now beginning to come to a time, you know, to join the number of unemployed youth in the society. And they call you tout. You become, oh my God. Now, Your Excellency, sir, at this very point, I have it to say, and to all of us that are here, that you have said it all, and we've checked from your profile, you are what Nigeria needs. But because of the sycophants, they will not still want you. They will always want all this sect of people who have old, you know, brain, who always recycle their thinking around and around. Nasarawa State is called the home of solid mineral. Where do you know they produce? No, answer me. Where do you know they produce? You can see that, Your Excellency. And of course, in line with your vision and why the timid Nasarawa State students would like to embark into your journey is because we have so much for your manifesto that you will do in our land. And by the special grace of our support to you, and this very message that we are taking now, by the special grace of God, you are that whom we need. And we will make sure we work towards actualizing that very dream and vision you have. Thank you so much for being here. Of course, we would have had you've addressed all questions, and we have nothing to put before you. But we have prayers to pray. We have support to give. We have contribution to offer, and we'll continue to do that until success comes. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Very much.
Villa to go.
Thank you very much. I'd like to invite the Chairman General of
Take it or leave it. But because I know your primary essence of coming here is to dialogue with us, to seek for an advice, and to declare your intention known to the people of Nasarawa State. Your Excellency, by the special grace of God, I know if given the opportunity to run, I want you to know that so many things pass under the water. The leadership of MBA, being a lawyer, as you are seated, I'm very much happy when I read through your profile. You have a very sound profile, which I believe, I'm quite convinced that you're more than equal to the task to lead this nation to the greater height. Namely you, if you are following the trend of events in Nigeria as a nation, 3 days ago, we had an interview with Donald Trump and Buhari, the president of Nigeria. You will say, indeed, Nigeria needs somebody to salvage them educationally, because education is the restoration of human dignity. And my advice is, it's not because I'm standing here and I will betray my people. My advice is, the possibility that you may fail in the struggle of life should not deter you from the support of a cause you believe to be just. For it is not life that matters, but it's the courage you put to it. I really salute you for your courage. I really appreciate you. But the question is, I have just one. You said, not, you want us not like Dubai, South, like Japan and other places. They are beautiful, but how did you intend to achieve this? This is the question. On behalf of the leadership of MBA, Mafia branch, we really salute you and we say, may God empower you and enlarge your coach and give you the grace to stand, to overcome every twist and turn of life. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thought it wise to call us to see what our problems are and find ways to sort our problems out. During your speech, you did mention something about infant mortality and the brain drain we're having in our country. And we do have a few questions. In terms of brain drain, what is your plan? What do you have in store for the country? And then, in terms of the health sector crisis, there has been going back and forth. We really need to have a final solution to the health sector crisis. What do you have in store? This has been going on. Medical tourism is something that we talk about every day. It happens among our leaders, it happens among the youth, it happens all through. So we really need to address this issue. And then also we want to like to know your take on private-public partnership. What is your take on these issues? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Would you like to respond, sir?
That is the key. Let me tell you how it is done and how I will do it as President of Nigeria. The purpose of a public-private partnership rests, number one, in the recognition that the government cannot do everything. The government cannot solve all the problems of Nigeria. But the government can create an enabling environment for the solution of our problems. And because the private sector has their own power, they have their own influence, they have their own technical know-how, they have their own money, they can collaborate with the government to address some needs in the society. The only condition for a successful public-private partnership is that the government does not interfere with the operationalization of that partnership, and that the private sector must make profit. The private sector is not an NGO. If they're involved in anything, they must do what? Make profit. But if they make profit, and life is better for us at the end of the day, if the government and a private company collaborate and decide to build a wonderful highway in Latvia, and they put a toll on the road, if you and I are passing, we must pay our toll. That toll goes to refund the costs of the private sector investment. The private sector builds the road, the toll, they will recover their money from the toll. So they will make a profit maybe for 10, 15, 25 years as the agreement may be. And after that, they will hand back the road to the government. But the road has been built. The government's money did not enter it. So this is how public-private partnerships work. Sometimes the government money may enter it, like the venture capital fund I am proposing, because it is a fund. And because it's public and private, the government, under my presidency, will put some money. And the private sector will put some money. But the private sector will run it so that it will be efficient and it will actually achieve the results of investing in small businesses that will create new jobs. All over the world, job creation is done mostly by the private sector. The government doesn't create jobs anymore, but the government creates the condition whereby jobs can be created by business. So when we stimulate the economy in this way, millions of new jobs will be created in Nigeria. You know that our people are very dynamic people, including here in Nasarawa State. So if we invest in, for example, businesses around your solid minerals, if this fund invests in businesses around your agriculture so that we can do agro-processing, value chain, not just cultivation, but value chain. So everybody will prosper. So I believe in public-private partnerships, and we will use it a lot when I become president. Number two, the young doctor asked about what I would do about brain drain, especially as it concerns the medical profession. I talked about there are 25,000 Nigerian doctors in America. You will not believe it. 25,000. And even President Obama, when he was president, talked about them. He recognized them specially for what they're doing in America. Nigerian doctors. But our healthcare system is in a mess. What am I going to do as president of Nigeria? Here is the solution. I am the only presidential candidate that has a plan for the diaspora, for brain drain. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take the National Diaspora Commission and turn it into a world-class institution. What will it do? It will go around the whole world and take a census of Nigerian professionals. Take a census of where they are, take a census of their qualifications and their skills, and then come back and match those skills with what we need here. So a proper strategy will now be developed to engage those Nigerians who are abroad for them to come home. How will that strategy be executed? My government will set up a diaspora trust fund. We are going to set up a fund to facilitate the return of our brains that have been drained. So there will be a reverse brain gain. Our people will begin to come back. And they will come back because home is home. East or west, home is the best. But the reason they don't come back is this. They will tell you, well, in America, I am paid $180,000 a year, $200,000 a year. Nobody in Nigerian government will pay me that. But this is what this fund will do. The fund I'm going to set up will now say, look, we may not be able to pay you $180,000 a year, but we will not pay you $30,000 a year either. We can pay you $140,000 or $120,000. And the difference is what I call the patriotism gap. Fill it with your patriotism. But you have enough but you have enough to come back to your country and contribute without feeling as if you cannot survive and take care of your family in America or where you are. So that fund will pay you that salary for 5 years. 5 years. In that 5 years, we're going to measure how you contribute to that institution. We're going to set some agenda that before that 5 years is over, you will have transferred skills to people in this institution. You will help us facilitate, in the case of medical professionals, you will help us facilitate the importation of the right type of equipment in our hospitals, so that our hospitals will be equipped, and you will teach us how to use that equipment so that we don't need to go on medical tourism abroad. Meanwhile, the fund is paying you. After 5 years, you make a decision as to whether or not you want to remain in Nigeria, or whether you want to go back to America or to England. But in that 5 years, you have transferred your skills, you have built up a base in that institution or in that hospital or whatever it is, and we have benefited from your experience and your knowledge. If you want to continue to remain in Nigeria after 5 years, we're happy. But you will now take care of yourself. Because in 5 years' time, you have certainly figured out how to create your own economic survival in this country. So, I have personal experience in this matter. When I was appointed Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, I was a consultant abroad. I was in Switzerland. I had had a 17-year career in the United Nations, and I had just retired at the age of 45 after attaining the highest rank in the UN. I was just 45, so I decided to begin a new career, and I wanted to begin it in business. So I set up a consultancy in Switzerland so that all those Oyimbos wey won't come make money here, I go tell them, say, if you come to Nigeria, that's all you go be. See how you go get license. See how you go do your forex. Everything we will explain to them. This is the risk you will encounter in Nigeria. This is how you will manage it. So this is how I was advising all those foreign companies. So when the Emir of Kano today, Lamido Sanusi, Muhammadu Sanusi II, he was the governor, and he said to me, Kingsley, we want you to come back to Nigeria. On behalf of President Umaru Yar'Adua, I'm inviting you to come back, and I want to recommend you to President Yar'Adua to become Deputy Governor of the Central Bank. The first question I asked him was, Lamido, what's the salary? Yes, the reason I asked the question is that I am paying a mortgage, what we call mortgage payment, because you borrow from the bank and buy property, and then you pay monthly payments back to the bank. So I was paying a mortgage. I said, can the salary in the central bank carry my mortgage of my house in Switzerland? Then he mentioned the salary. I told him, sorry, it will not work. I'm not coming back. So I'm telling you, I have personal experience. Then Sanusi said, don't worry, calm down, calm down. I know this problem. That is why I have recommended to the president that the salaries of the deputy governors should be amended, because truly it is too low. So we should make it up to a certain point. I said, now you're talking. Because I have to feed my family. I have to pay their school fees. So this is because I know this thing personally. I have this very clear plan to stop the brain drain. Because I myself had once been drained as a brain, but by the grace of God, I returned. So it became a gain for my country. The experience I have all over the world now becomes a gain for my country. And this is what we're going to do with the diaspora, especially in two professions: healthcare services, medicine and nursing and all those professions around it, and in education, our educational institutions. We need to have all these our professors, brains, teaching abroad. We will bring them back. we'll bring them back, and they will come and turn our universities into world-class standard universities. So that's my answer to the brain drain. I hope I've not missed out anything from the young lady's question. Let me now address the madam that is the leader of the market women. First of all, let me answer a question you did not ask. I want you to know that I'm going to be the president of Nigeria that will set the women of Nigeria free. Let me tell you how I'm going to do it. 50-50 gender parity for political appointments. We're not going to appoint people just because they're women. No. We will appoint qualified women, just as we will appoint qualified men. So go back and let your people know that this man is going to be the president that will change the condition of women in this country. Your condition is going to be much better, and we will educate ourselves, we men. I told some people at the conference, I said, all these women, you gather here and you're pumping yourself up. The way to solve your problems is to collaborate with men. You must collaborate with men. Don't sit around in one living room abusing us. Call us, let us sit down and talk about how your condition can be changed, because it is the men that have created those conditions. But we now know that in the world of the 21st century, even though men are men and women are women, we are not the same. I'm yet to see a pregnant man. I have been looking for a pregnant man, I haven't seen one. So we are different. That is the truth. But women must still have equal opportunity. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about opportunity for women to actualize their talents and their abilities. So that's that. Now, you asked about, you talked about some specific things. You talked about herdsmen. Let me answer the question of herdsmen. The problem of the herdsmen under my presidency, we will solve it in a manner that makes everybody happy. Nigerians will be happy, the herdsmen will be happy. We are going to do it by creating very good ranches, or encourage the creation of ranches for our cows in this economy. You know, we will also address the root cause of the problem. One of the root causes of the problem of the herdsmen is the desertification of northern Nigeria. How the deserts are encroaching and eating up a lot of places in the north. Nobody is seriously addressing this. But with technology, we can turn deserts into farmlands. Israel did it. The Negev was once a desert. But with technology, they were able to turn it into something else. So we're going to have a ranching policy that enables the herdsmen. They will actually do much better with the ranching policy, because the ranches will be properly constructed. There will be certain types of innovative, grass that will be put there that will be better for their cows. They will generate more cows. They will generate more milk. Everybody will just be happier, and then people can have the security of their lives and property. But if anybody refuses to be ranched and insists on going to kill anybody and take their farmlands, the law must take its course, because we must be a country of laws. Otherwise, we are not a nation. So that is my answer to the question of herdsmen. We will bring this crisis to an end. And our country will be united. Well, I'm not going to be going around blaming Gaddafi. I will not blame Gaddafi for the herdsmen crisis. I will solve the problem. That is the issue. So now, another thing we're going to do is that we have to control our borders. We have to control Nigeria's borders much more effectively. Let us even assume that the problem is Gaddafi's soldiers. How is it that they are able to come into your country just like that? It means that your country is not protected. It means that your borders are just open. Anybody can just come in. Can you just walk into America? No. You can't. Why should people be able to just cross from Cameroon into Nigeria? Or cross from Chad into Nigeria? Or cross from Niger? No. You must stop at the border post. Even though we have free protocol on the movement, protocol on the free movement of persons in ECOWAS, but your entry must be recorded. And that thing that is that you can stay for 3 months under the ECOWAS law. You can stay for 3 months, but after 3 months you must leave or change your status lawfully. So these are things. We're going to invest money in our borders, and we're going to have technology that we'll see within 100 kilometers of any Nigerian border. So before you move, we have seen you. This is the world of the 21st century. These things are not so difficult. So that's my answer to the X-Men crisis. Was there any other question you had, madam?
Market traders.
Market traders, very good. Now let me talk about market traders. You know that especially the women, because in Nigeria, the economy of Nigeria, 65% of our GDP is produced by informal businesses. The businesses that are not recorded. Half of those women in those markets, their company is not registered in the Corporate Affairs Commission. So their records are not being captured. Some of them may not be paying tax. Also because they feel that if they pay tax, politicians will steal the money. So we're going to, part of the answer to that question is this venture capital fund that we're setting up. That fund will be able to invest in small businesses. A part of that fund will specialize in investment for women-owned businesses. Businesses that are owned by women. So the fund will own 30% or 20% or 40% of your business, but you will have a lot more money to do your business. So there will be a lot more money to share between you and the fund. But you don't have to take a bank loan at 30%. That's what I will save you that trouble. Let the banks go to Dangote, because Dangote can afford it. You can't. So we create a different solution for you. So we're going to, create an enabling environment for small businesses to grow. This country will be, the economy will be an entrepreneurial capitalist economy. When people want to do businesses, they will be able to find capital for the businesses, and they will be able to have ease of doing business. We are not going to be taxing you all over the place. You pay tax here, you pay tax here, you pay tax there. Streamlined, straightforward taxation. That's what we're going to do. So small businesses are really, really going to benefit a lot under my administration. Thank you.
Excellence!
Was there? Okay, I forgot to talk about something. You see, that's why it's good to have brilliant people. You see this young man here, Shetima Dan Azumi, he's from Yobe. He's my personal assistant. He handles my life. So he's always very sharp with ideas, and I forgot something, and he has just, he had the courage to stop me when I was speaking and to remind me that I've forgotten something. So he will get a promotion because of that. So the point is that, the point I forgot is this. Security, police reform. Police reform, and that is a very important point. Under my government, the police force of Nigeria will be reformed completely. We are 200 million people in Nigeria. We have 350,000 police. What does that mean? You have no police, in other words. How can 350,000 people police a country of 200 million. It is not possible. Now, take note that out of these 350,000 people, a recent investigative report has shown us that 80,000 of them are ghost workers. 1,000 police. Okay. Now, how are we going to reform the police? First of all, we are going to recruit about between 1.5 and 2 million new police officers, men and women. But we are not just going to recruit them and put uniforms on them. We are going to train them properly. They will be trained. We'll bring in people from Scotland Yard, FBI, to help us to modernize our police force so that our police can keep us safe. They will have the forensic capabilities. They will have research. They will have the technological monitoring tools. They will have thumbprint, we all watch movies, we all watch the films, and we see how all those Oyibo police, when there's a murder, no matter how long it takes them, they will track. The case is never closed until they find the culprit. That's what it's going to be like when you give the police proper training. So we'll give them the proper training, we will give them the proper equipment, and we will review their salaries. Let me tell you why there's a lot of corruption. Waiting you carry. Policeman will stop you. Waiting you carry. Okay, we will greet you. Okay, good afternoon. Your boys, they here.